Hey guys, what is going on? This is Loyal Crane from YouTube, and today I'm bringing back more Guild Wars 2. And in Guild Wars 2 today, we're going to be doing the world event Assault in Svanir's Dome. And while we're doing that, I'm going to talk about two certain topics. One, I made up of myself, and it's which console do I prefer to play on? And the other topic is one that I was PM'd by somebody on YouTube, and it is, what is your favorite video game ever of all time? And so we're going ahead and start out with what is my favorite video game ever, like of all time, not just of 2012, of any other game. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that I have two favorite games. I couldn't pick between these two, and the first video game I personally think is one of my favorites. This is the first one I thought of, is Legend of Zelda Windbreaker. Now, I'm not sure if you heard of this. Legend of Zelda, you guys know that. It's like Link and the guy with the Master Sword and everything. If you don't know who Link is, you're a bad person, and you should go to a mental hospital. No offense to like actual people with disabilities. If I offended somebody, I'm sorry. But Legend of Windbreaker Zelda is probably, I have to say, if I did have to pick between the two games, it would probably be this one. It was the second Zelda game I ever played. The first one I played was the original Ocarina of Time. Some other people pronounce it differently. I pronounce it Ocarina. But Legend of Zelda Windbreaker, I just found it to be just a game you can just enjoy. A game where you don't get frustrated or mad or disappointed. It's just like you're just giggling and laughing, just smiling the entire time you're playing it. It's just such a great game. And the reason I think that it's just a story about how your sister gets kidnapped and you have to go save her, it's a bit unoriginal. I mean, there are other video games with the same story, but it's still an awesome story, and the way Link goes about trying to defeat Ganondorf and rescue his sister is just really cool. You go on so many adventures, you get so many cool weapons and stuff, and there are so many things to do, from like breaking barrels and finding rupees to battling big bosses and getting new equipment. The only problem I found about Windbreaker was I found it to be just a bit too short. I would have wished if it was longer. I mean, I was able to finish it in maybe 20 hours. I mean, it was such a good game and I wanted more. I just maybe 50 hours around that. And I know it was made back then, but it's still, I just wish there was more. Now, even though the graphics aren't that good, it's still a really good game. The combat system, I found it to be really enjoyable. Oh, sorry, my phone here, just set it on silent. Sorry about that. But I just found Legend of Zelda Windbreaker was just one of my favorite games of all time, and I just didn't find anything bad to gripe about. Just like so easy to gush about. So the other game that I found to be one of my favorite games of all time, the one that I thought about right after I was about to make the recording, is Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. It's a PSP game, and it's made by Capcom. And you guys probably thinking Capcom, well, it must be terrible. It must have a ton of DLC. No, it does have some DLC, but I don't really think there's any one that's payable. I think they're all free. But Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, I've spent, in all seriousness, I've spent 500 hours. I know people must think that's insane, or some people think that's too short, but with a game like Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, it's kind of easy to play that much. Like, the game is really good. Much better than I expected it to be when I first got it. I played the original Monster Hunter on the PlayStation 2 and I really liked it, but I did not think Monster Hunter Freedom Unite would be that good. But what Monster Hunter basically is an entire franchise made by Capcom. What it basically has you do, it's a RPG, well, sort of, and it has no, well, it has a bit of story, but it basically has no story whatsoever. It's really, really bad, and yeah, but the game, the game really doesn't need a story. Basically, what you do is you're a hunter. You're part of a village, and Monster Hunter Freedom Ground. You're part of a village, and there's a monster that's terrorizing the village. Basically, a dragon. It should be called Dragon Hunter, not Monster Hunter. But it's so you're a hunter, and you have to kill this dragon. That's basically the story. That's all. I mean, you kill the once you kill the dragon, there's still a bunch more content to go on to, and you don't really hear any story. But what it does basically is that you're the hunter, and you have to kill this dragon. But one of the most fascinating things about Monster Hunter is that not only is its combat really, really good, it's fast paced, and it's also a bit challenging, it's the amount of replayability. What Monster Hunter has is this special weapon crafting and armor crafting system. Basically, you go out and you kill monsters or dragons or the big guys. You get into like the big guys later on if you spend time in it. And once you get to the big guys, if you kill them, you can take their scales, their webbings, their wings, or their claws, their fangs, or whatever, and you can make weapons out of those. And just, it's absolutely incredible what you can do in this game. Like, you can make completely different armor sets that give you basic skills. Like maybe you make you find this dragon, you kill it, and you get enough materials to make the helmets. Well, you make the helmet and you think it looks good, so now you want the complete armor set. So you make it, you go out, kill the dragon a bunch of times, and you make it. And you get the armor set, and it gives you like health plus 20 or attack up small. And then just, that's only one of the few out of the like hundreds of armor sets that you can make out of each dragon. And it's just absolutely incredible, this game. It's so easy to sink so many hours into it, and also it's just like, I don't know, it's so easy to just gush about. Now, I'm not saying there has problems. Like, I wish there could have been just a tiny bit more story, and sometimes it feels like a grind when you have to fight the same monster 50 times just to get one rare item from it. But in the end, it's just absolutely rewarding when you make that new armor set or overpowered weapon and you start killing monsters in under a minute. So it's just absolutely amazing. So those are my 2 favorite games of all time. And now, which console do I prefer to play on? Well, I really, really like the Xbox 360, and that's what I've been using so far. Hey, there's the monster. This is the boss that you fight at the end of Svanir's Dome, Sultan Svanir's Dome. It takes a while to beat him, so yeah. Well, the console that I prefer to play on is the PC. I recently got into PC gaming just not a few months ago, and I just fell in love with it instantly. I started with Planet Side 2. It's an MMO FPS, and although it has its drawbacks, it's a good game. But back to the topic, I do prefer PC over any of the other consoles. Xbox is a close second, and PS3, I really don't like it that much, but it's pretty cool, so that comes in third. And although the only Monster Hunter game that actually on one of those consoles is the Wii, like one of those like big consoles that everybody knows about is the Wii. That's Monster Hunter